Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
And welcome to my episode 3 of Saturday Morning Makes for 2024.
Hey y'all, it is Nancy the Handy Scandy, and I welcome you into Saturday Morning Makes. I am running a little bit late, of course. Life just happens sometimes, and but I still was able to make on Saturday, and I wanted to share with you guys. And so these are the things that I made. So we're going to start with this tag. So let me move these other things out of the way, and we will get started. So this is my tag. I want to make sure you guys can see it in all of its glory. Turn it sideways because it's a large tag. And the ribbon, of course. Tiny little bow with these extra strings, and then a couple of charms with a bulb pin. Where you can see all that shimmer and shine from the mica stains. And then I also use some shimmer spray, so you can see all of that goodness. And if you look on these little black strips, there's a little bit, oh, it's not going to focus. There we go. It can't see the background, so it can focus in the foreground. Anyway, I hope that's not too in your face, but you can kind of see the texture because it is leftover strips from the card, and I used an embossing folder on the card. But let me tell you about this tag. So it started with, and excuse the noises from my chair. Oh, it started with these tags. These are from Ranger. I believe they were Dina Wakley, if I'm remembering correctly. They were on scrapbook.com, and they came in these 2 packs. So I used this larger one, and I cannot even tell you how much larger large is. Let me see. It is 8.5 by 4 1/4. So it's large. And I started by putting some crackle paste through this sweet little stencil. Where is my sweet little stencil? This is from A Colorful Life Designs. Does that help you see it? No, that might help you see it. It is called, oh, I know it's on here. Sorry. Oh, it's this way. Quatrefoil, just simply Quatrefoil. I thought because it was a 3 by 6 that it was, or that it had a different name, but it's just called Quatrefoil. If y'all do not know, Quatrefoil is one of my very favorite shapes. Excuse me, I had to have a drink. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that shape. And there are different types of Quatrefoil. It's also known as arabesque. So whichever you want to call it, at least that's my understanding. Now I could be wrong, but that is my understanding. But you can see that the shapes are different, right? This is like almost like a small bud or a clover, and then this is almost more like a star. So it's a row of those and then a row of these in between, and those. If that makes sense. It's a little bit easier to see once it's actually stenciled out, because like here you can see there's a row of the buds and then the row of the stars, and then it starts another row of the buds. You can see better with that space in between them. But anyway, crackle paste through those, and then I let it dry. I actually had to help it dry this time because I was on a bit of a time crunch, and but it still got really good crackle. I mean, you can see that. Sometimes if you use a heat tool or an embossing gun to assist the drying time with a crackle paste, you don't get great crackle. But this time it crackled really well, and this is the Stampendous. No, I'm sorry, Stamperia crackle paste. And then I used mica stains, and I cannot tell you, I know the brown is the Crooked Broomstick, the pinky, that's a beautiful pink. Like, I love a coral pink, and that's exactly what that is. And that I believe was called sugared Gumdrop. The yellow is not Flickering Candlelight, Harvest Moon, and then the purple was something Potion. So I did remember all of them. Look at me, I can't even believe it. And I managed to maintain just a little bit of white space. I feel like I could talk about this just forever. But anyway, so that's the background with the colors and the texture. And then I came in with some stamps. I started with this crosshatch scratches from Technique Junkies. So I really like that crosshatch. And then I also used this one from Tim Holtz. This is one of his collaboration sets with Joann's. I believe the original one was from Field Notes. This one I don't think has a name. I think they just number these. Yeah, THMM 160. And this is the stencil that came with it. But I didn't use the stencil. I just used this stamp a little bit. And you can, yeah, you can't see it very well. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can see some of the, if you look really close, you might have to zoom in. But there's the text print, and there's the text print. There's a little bit of the butterfly coming through there and here as well. But anyway, there's that one. That one is on there. And this is on there too. This is Stampendous as well. And I used this little stamp right here. I love these stamps from Stampendous. I really do. And you can see right here, I was able to get that filigree. And right here, I got some of it. And there's some, I mean, around all the edges. There's a little bit on all the edges. So there's that. And then I also used this guy from Paper Artsy, and I say my Seth Apter. I love Seth Apter. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not, but he's an amazing mixed media artist and designer, and he actually just had a release. But this is the stamp that I used on this project, and I'm trying to not derail myself, which is very hard. But in the center, this is the die that I used, and I used it recently on a card. I believe it was just last week for a Valentine's card when I used the strips of scrap paper. But I love it. Absolutely love it. I love the texture that it puts on the leaves, and they're very delicate, but at the same time very substantial. And of course you can bend it. This is its shape, right? But because it is paper, you can bend it, and it bends in a very natural way. And I really love that. And then of course I came in and I added these strips. I just wanted another layer of texture and another medium on there. So that's why I took the leftover strips from the other card that I'll show you right now. So we're gonna just set this aside. I want to leave this out so you can see. But then I have this card. So this is where I die cut that piece. So you can kind of see that it came right out of there. And I started to just cut this bit out and throw this part away and just keep those for my scrap bin. But I got to looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, that would be beautiful with some colored cardstock behind it. So you can see it just cut it right out of there. And so I ran it through my embossing folder in my die cutting machine. It's this one from Spellbinders, SES030. I love the juxtaposition of the geometric shape with the natural element of the leaf die. I did nothing on the inside or the back, but I did add this yellow layer of very lightweight cardstock to the back, and I added that teal behind everything. Now this pattern paper inside is an oldie from Stampin' Up, but I thought it was really pretty. I thought that I wanted to put a rainbow, some type of rainbow pattern or coloring behind it, but I wasn't as happy with that. And then when I pulled this out, I was like, oh, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So that is what I used. And then I found these cardstocks in my stash that coordinated with those colors. If you had a piece of cardstock that you have run your die through, and you can keep that piece as like a focal point, so you can run any die through anything. You can do this with a word die. You could make it into a shaker. I easily could have put some acetate behind that and lifted it up a little bit with some foam tape and made a shaker out of that. That would have been lovely. That really would have been lovely. I do have to say, when I ran it through the embossing folder curled. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm still, I don't know. I've been doing this for years and years, and I'm still learning my sandwiches. I don't know. Anyway, that's an issue for me on my own for a different day. So I used the Shine Brightly and the You Make My Heart Smile. These are from the Tim Holtz. They're not the quote chips. I think they're just called clippings. And this one was from All Occasions. This one I can't remember, but it's gold on white, and then this one is white on black. And I just think they're very simple, and I think this adds a very positive, bright sentiment, bright because it's gold on white, on the black, and I love that juxtaposition as well. So, and this, I wanted it to blend in. Now, the black isn't as black as the cardstock, and it's a little dull because I did not add any shimmer to it, but I still think that it's perfect in my perfect way, and you guys know that I'm not a perfectionist. So, I have this sweetie little card, like, oh my goodness, I still swoon when I see it. So I don't have this stencil out. It's a Recollections stencil, and it's pretty big. You recognize that shape? Quatrefoil. But this is from Recollections. And I ink blended VersaFine Claire inks through there. Summertime, Purple Delight, and Monarch, because Monarch is a little bit darker. But these stamps are from Honeybee Stamps. They're a couple years old. I've had them for a while, and I think they're very, very cute. They're not on straight. This is the most straight one, but my kiddo helped me decide which one to use, and they chose that, so that's what we used. And I stamped it out, colored them up with my Olos, and added a little bit of white gel pen to them. And then I did the To My Honey Bunny. Die cut it with a heart-shaped die, and so I die cut the background with that stitched rectangle. That's again from Creek Bank Creations, as is the heart. I used the largest heart, and it's stitched as well. And then I just kind of offset it, and then I ran it through the rectangle die again as well, so that I'd get this nice finished edge. And then the honey bunny is I did partial die cutting to get that shape, and I used this die from Whimsy Stamps. I love these dies, y'all. These are the frame labels dies. This was the only one that was big enough, wide enough for this particular sentiment. So I used this one. It's the largest of the frames, and I die cut on the top, and then I shifted it and I die cut on the bottom, and it worked perfectly. I could not be happier with that. I really couldn't. I love that. And I like that the kind of the flourishes on that, if you will, kind of reflect back to the flourishes on the quatrefoil patterns. But I think that's just super cute. But that is the card. And oh, I did add a little bit of stickles to the heart, but mostly it's just glitter. It's not domed, and you don't get the glue effect. You just get the glitter, and I think that's super cute. So there is that one. And then last but not least, I do have one more tag for this last Saturday in January for hashtag snowman of January. Did I say snowman tag? I don't know what I said. Let me get another drink. Okay, so I added a clean tag to the back just so that it would be nice and neat. I sandwiched a little piece of this beautiful trim. I sandwiched it in between. I love that trim. I think it's very pretty. And if I can find it, I want to show you guys that whole background. It was originally run through my embossing folder. Now this particular embossing folder is from Stampin' Up, and I know I brought it out here. Let me slow my roll. Here it is. It's all my products for this project. Okay, so it is this. This is, I don't know if they called it a 3D embossing folder or not, and it does not have the name. I've manhandled it though. Can you see that? Yeah, I've manhandled that baby over the years. But anyway, you can see the branches. It's birch trees. So let me stick that in. You can see the whole scene. It's birch trees in the woods. And so I actually had some Versamark. I smeared Versamark all over the embossing folder, ran it through the die cutting machine, and then I sprinkled different colors of embossing powder on it to get that look. And I wasn't very happy with it. Like, this has been sitting in my stash for years. And finally yesterday I was like, you know what, just use it. Just die cut it and use it. And I think it's really cute because it sets him into a woodland scene without doing anything. Without doing anything. And then I just took some scraps of cardstock and I fussy cut just some snowbanks, if you will, ran it through the shape die as well, which is this die from Anna White and Impression Obsession, stitched tag number 5, and then they fit nice. They had the nice clean lines that worked perfectly with this tag. So let me keep things out of the way. And then I used this stamp set again from Impression Obsession. Not sure who the designer was on this one. I thought it was on here, but I'm not seeing it. Anyway, it was this little snowman. I wanted to use him, but I didn't have any scraps of paper that were large enough for him because of his ski pole going out like that. I thought that would be really cute on the snowbanks. But anyway, I just set him into a woodland scene. I used some Olos to color him up with that kind of really soft blue-green color palette, and even the really soft blue-green on the band of his hat, and a couple of the warm grays to color his actual hat, and a little pink on his cheek and nose on his, or orange on his nose, and the holly. Then he was done. Fussy cut him out, popped him up on some double-sided foam tape, a little bit of twine from my stash. This, you can't really tell, but it's a little piece of ribbon. And then I added a snowflake from this bunch of snowflakes that I got from Amazon. Bunch of different snowflake charms. They're just silver and gold, as you can see, but the shapes are, I don't even know how many different types of snowflakes there are. But I was going to go with the silver to kind of pull out this softer tone, but I just like the look of the gold against the gold, and this bright gold against this more aged looking gold. But that's the tag, y'all. I think it's really cute. And I hope to get a couple more snowman products made or projects made before the end of the month. But yep, there we are. So the tag, and then the honey bunny card, and then this card, and this big tag. This is like my favorite this week. I love them all for different reasons, but this is my favorite. So there we are. Those are my projects for today, guys. And I want to thank everybody who has participated in Snowman of January. Next month I will be hosting hashtag Halloween, which is a mashup of Valentine's and Halloween. So participate in that if you would like. Just use the hashtag Halloween with a V and 2 L's. VALLOWEEN. I'll try to put it on the screen. But Tina over at Crafty Bean is hosting a hashtag with gingerbread. I can't remember if she's calling it gingerbread of February or not, but I will check with her and I will try to put that on the screen as well. So I would encourage you, you know, if you're into Halloween and or Valentine's Day and you'd like to share something with the hashtag Halloween, or if you love your gingerbread men or both, you're welcome to participate. But I will be sharing mine on Saturday Morning Makes, so be participating in that hashtag. And there are so many hashtags out there, guys. I just encourage you, just get crafty, just get creative. Whatever you want to make, you don't have to follow a challenge per se or participate in a hashtag. But I would just encourage you, especially if you find peace and respite in your craft room, see if you can't allow yourself some time in there, or carve yourself out some time so that you can get in there and just free your heart for a little bit. So guys, I thank you for spending some time with me. As always, I ask if you would like and subscribe, all those things. I'm really close to 2,000. I've never been a numbers person. I'm still not a numbers person, but I would like to do a giveaway when I get to 2,000, and I have some some stuff that I would like to share with you guys. I have some products from Whimsy Stamps, and I have some from Imagine and Sukaneko, amongst other things. But yeah, so help me get there. Help me get to be able to do this giveaway, because I think it will be great fun. And I may even try to find some sponsors. I think that, well, I won't even name names because I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I would like to try to find some sponsors as well. So I couldn't do any of this without you guys. So I thank you for watching, for spending some time with me, for the love, encouragement, and support that y'all show. And yeah, so until next time, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Saturday Morning Makes, and I'm out.